So something about TikTok or something about me and TikTok are not vibing. It's weird. And I predominantly think it's the people that are on it that get offended by stuff I post. Because I get some negative comments, but I feel like because the people that are trying to be negative on my page don't really have the grounds to be, and sort of, because the followers that I do have, or the people that are on my page that I do have, rather, they immediately elbow them out. Like, I've seen so many people say negative things on my page, and then people that are also on it immediately follow up with, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Why are you on here? Go away. Get off this page. And that brings a tear to my eye. It's beautiful. So instead of that, I think they just report me for bullshit. Like, Tumultuous Entropy was banned for nudity, right? And now I'm getting hate speech for... Meanwhile, I'm duetting videos, or I'm stitching a video. The original video is still up and my shit's banned. So I found a new platform called Clapper. And although it might be kind of trivial, it's a joke, but it's exactly like TikTok. And I feel like if people do really resonate with the things that I say and they enjoy it, I'm not asking them to go onto this platform solely for me, because many creators are on both. And you can find this, it's the same algorithm, really. I mean, maybe TikTok's is a little bit more intricate, but that's just because they've been working on it longer. Obviously, an ex-employee of TikTok took the formula and gave it to Clapper, and now Clapper has it. It's actually better because they limit the hashtags to 5. Anyway, I'm not going to talk shop. What I really wanted to say was it's more difficult than we think, this mission that we have. And this goes for anyone that feels that they're here to assist. I believe that none of us are here to assist at first because we don't realize that we are, except for that one kid in Russia. I don't know if you know the story. There was a kid in Russia that was a little off. And then he used to talk to his mother about him having another life on another planet, Mars. And he said that he was a pilot. So his mother, she encouraged it a little bit. Long story short, he was explaining to astronauts, and astrologists rather, not astronauts. He was telling them and drawing pictures of planets that this little 11-year-old or 8-year-old boy had no business knowing. He drew Earth and Venus and Mars from the perspective of someone flying in an airplane or in a spaceship from Mars to Earth. Do you understand? So it's not like we have, so there's no way he could have known. Can you prove that he was a pilot on Mars? No. Does Dolores Cannon do a past life regression of someone on another planet? Yes. It's called Keepers of the Garden. It's a great book. Although I think it's a little bit stretchy because the entity that is embodying his subconscious is a little pompous. A lot of times he says, it's too complicated for you to understand, but he doesn't even give the benefit of the doubt. Fucking try me, Anyway, the kid said that the secret to our civilization, the secret to the human race, and I just saw something out of the corner of my eye. Oh, it's the fucking thing moving. That thing. The secret to the human race is behind the ear of the sphinx, inside the head. And mind you, either somebody told him to say this, which I doubt, but we don't know what the sphinx is. When the Egyptians arrived to Egypt to build the pyramids, the Sphinx was already there. We have no record of who built it, what the fuck, what's underneath it, because there's a lot of stuff underneath as well, and what's inside the head. I watched a documentary on it. A lot of people have tried to get inside the head of the Sphinx. And the furthest they ever got, for some reason, it's so difficult to do that. I don't see that why being so difficult, but now I think about it, there's a lot of people protecting that Sphinx secretly, not outwardly, but secretly. He dug, I think he got into the head, but there was too much sand, so he couldn't keep going. So he put a big metal door on it. There was another dude that graffitied it and shit. This is back in the 1920s, 30s, 40s. And no one has been behind the ear of the Sphinx. And there's a big rock in the ear that's blocking it. And for some reason, we can't take it off. I just don't see that being feasible. I understand that maybe we can't build a pyramid of Giza right now, although I'm pretty sure we could if we tried. That we can't remove an ear clogging from a Sphinx. We built Mount Rushmore, for Christ's sakes. Like, come on, give me a fucking break. You know what I mean? So he said the secret to the human civilization is behind the ear of the Sphinx, and then the boy mysteriously disappeared, of course, because this is Russia and we can't have the talk like that. But like things like that, mysterious disappearances like that, should signify that it was something valuable there. I understand that people don't like to believe in conspiracy theories. I understand that there's a lot of closed-minded people out there that just like things the way they fucking are. I like my Starbucks with the 2 pumps. I like my car the way it is. If I get a flat tire, I go to the same guy. I like my belt here, my blue socks there. Listen, I don't disagree with that because it's a good way of organizing yourself, but you have to implement change in your life. It is impossible to live happily and successfully, as far as I know, without change. If you ask anyone that knows me, I am the fucking element of change. And maybe it's ADD, I don't know. But I change everything all the time. I change my furniture once a month. I brush my teeth with my left hand. I just switch shit up. Because from the profession I'm in, and maybe I'm in this profession because I'm like this and not the other way around. In a kitchen, you can't do one thing at a time. You'll never get anything done. You have to do like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on how small the tasks are, you're doing a multitude of tasks at a time. You have to implement change, because if you don't implement change, what happens is you get comfortable and you get stagnant. What is stagnant? Stagnant is water when it hasn't been agitated. Right? So water, when it stays, it becomes stagnant. Underneath it looks okay, but it's poisoned. And if you're ever on an island, for instance, like a island, like a rock in the middle of the sea or an ocean or a lake, and it's got a bunch of birds on it, right? And it's got stagnant water that's sitting in divots like that. I mean, you're fucking dying of thirst and you can't drink from the ocean or the lake because it's salty. So what do? Do you drink that stagnant water? No, you die if you drink that stagnant water. You will die. There's a way you can hydrate yourself, is by taking that stagnant water and giving yourself an enema with it. And I'm dead ass. Ha, no pun intended. Seriously. Because you will still hydrate yourself, and the microbes and the bacteria that's in your lower intestine will kill any germs that are in the stagnant water. That's just a small tip. But the point is this. If you don't implement change in your life, you become stagnant because you get comfortable. Human beings get very comfortable very quickly because we're very, very good and very adaptive. So we adapt to literally anything like that. But that's why we get comfortable, because we need a constant challenge. We need a constant gentle pressure of something either pulling us towards a destination or pushing us away from another one. And change, little as it is, as moving your couch once a month, is exactly that. If you have nothing else, if you have no other goals, which shouldn't be the case, but say it is, I'm sure there is for a lot of people. And not because they're happy and content with where they are, it's because they're comfortable. Content and comfort is the same thing. But you could be content and change constantly happening, and be comfortable with change constantly happening, because you'll know that some of that change might not suit you. However, you're comfortable with that because you're expecting it. And when you don't expect it, and when you like everything the same way, and you like your Starbucks with the 2 pumps, but there's a new guy working and he puts 1, and he gives you the wrong name, and you get a flat, right, on your car, and the guys that you could take it to is not there, then you have a big, really bad day of shit, and you're freaking out because nothing is the way you want it. Nothing is the way it's in order. Nothing is exactly the way you planned it, and you're bugging. But if you implement a small amount of change in your life all the time, and you anticipate that some of this change is going to be negative, then when that does happen to you, not only are you not bugging out, you're actually figuring out ways around it before it even happens. So you build contingencies for yourself. So you never, ever felt it. Never even flinch. People do that in the restaurant. I've seen people do that in the restaurant. So many curveballs, and they just fucking dodging them like Neo in the Matrix. That's because they implement change daily. And they look messy, and they look disorganized, but that's because they're changing so much, and they're keeping all those balls in the air. Whereas someone that likes it organized, if one day his shit was all over the place, he would freak the fuck out. And it only takes one. 1,000 little changes is one big motherfucking change. So if you're not controlling your change, the lack of change is controlling you and waiting to pounce. Just so you know. Happy thinking.
See you soon.